Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Mughals, in which in this ongoing series, well, we have been expanding to some degree, especially that we are now turned against our longtime ally since back in the Delhi Sultanate days, Malwa, because they stand in our way of our goal, which is Galado and Ranthambore. All provinces must be owned. But now there's only 3 left, which is under my vassal. In fact, Hadoti. In which we're currently improving relations with them in order to, begin the integration. And whereas we've also been improving relations with them. So as we have no diplomats to send right now. Because we are working because we just made them a vassal. We released you in peace, then you joined the community of the faithful. That's another. But anyways, there's gonna be some uprisings around here, and we'd like to put that down. But basically anywhere where there's local autonomy, we will put it down. Sooner or later. I mean, we're working on coring some of these provinces, but we'll put those down. I mean, of course, it's gonna cause quite a stir. But this is why we have so many armies. As we are drilling most of them. And we plan on going to war against Bengal, which is currently at war with Assam. In fact, it's the Assamese that declared war against... Oh. In fact, you declared war against Bengal for the Thimple. So they'll beat each other up, which will give us an... When that time comes, we will have the opportunity to swoop down and take most of Bengal. And that will... excuse me. That will complete our mission for the Bengal Campaign. So we will have conquest of Bengal and Bihar for 20 years, which will give us more manpower recovery speed and a little bit more on the goods produced modifier, helping us to get more income, while having permanent claim on East and West Bengal, which leads into the Ganges Delta, in which we have to control these areas there. Which, controlling most of this area where so many centers of trade are located, it would be very, very beneficial, especially there. Wherever they hold, I want it. That's all I gotta say. And who knows, maybe we'll go up there to Assam as well. And at least one center of trade of at least level 3. But that's in Bengal Delta. But again, it's part of Grand Trunk Road, which we have to complete both of these in order to get there. But to fortify the plains, we could do that, but it says at least one in the area. Let me see. Oh, here. Oh, what area has more development? Kanauj. I do have the funds to create a fort to get that mission done. I'll keep that well in mind. But for now, we will just abide our time and wait and put down any uprisings that tries to come up around here. Which is what this army is doing here. Not drilling at the moment. But perhaps we should, just at least for a bit. Hey, it's next to it. So we will take our sweet time to let Bengal and Assam beat each other up. And then we'll come in and take advantage of them. And at the same time, continue to improve relations with Hadoti. Ah, I got something for you. Hang on. Ah, damn it. I was hoping, you know... No. Influence the nation. That's what you should do. Because as a great power, we will influence the petty countries towards our diplomatic position. Altering their opinion of us by 25 or 10 years, they will also receive one monarch power category. They are weakest in currently shortest duration. Their trust of us changes by 5. There will be a one-time cost for corresponding to 12 months of their income. A sum presently of 60 ducats to carry out this political maneuver. Do it. We're just basically swaying them in our way. Great power actions just for having that money spent there. Since we just started this recording on 1576. 200... What happened on that particular year? This was So in 1575, the Mughal army annexed Bengal and parts of Bihar that was under the dominion of that area over there. So this was around the 1570s that the Mughal Empire conquered Bengal. And that's what we intend to do in this episode. Conquer Bengal. And knowing that we're going to integrate them soon, so we'll have to make this a state. Even though it's not going to give us much in the way of income, but it'll do for a moment. And yes, I have too many diplomatic relations, which I've stated before. Integrate them, and then we can free it up while we still have them as a vessel. Knowledge sharing. By the way. Colonialism. That's what we're trying to introduce it here. But if only we had high development throughout the empire, we would embrace colonialism a lot faster. Anyways, the glory of our capital has been long neglected. Are you sure about that? Now we have the opportunity to improve the city and make it a beacon of our cultural pride. This may prove costly, but there is an alternative solution. Manpower or money? Well, we're not making much money because of this damned root out corruption, because there's some corruption around here. And I'm not terribly worried about the manpower because, you know, as I'm going to stall the time until we declare that war against Bengal. So use the military as workforce. I'm keeping the money. We'll have the manpower fully recovered and our war with Bengal will be easy, since we are the second largest army in the world. Is that confirmed still? Yes, second largest army in the world still. 4th for most provinces and 4th highest income. That is why we are a great power. That's 7th. Well, you just wait till we conquer Bengal. Already you've embraced colonialism. Lucky bastards. If they want to get up more, well then, we're going to put them down. And I'm surprised the Portuguese have not come up there. Peasants' war in Ethiopia. Man. Now, Vijayanagar is considered a great power. One day when Malwa's out of the way, and that's the reason why I'm still allied with the Bahmanis, because in case they get attacked by Vijayanagar, we will help them out. We will. No matter what. Diffusion of New World crops. European merchants are increasingly common sight in the great ports of Asia, and their goods have in time come to penetrate even more distant markets in our country. Among the new products trickling into our markets are the new core of the Americas. Potatoes, tomatoes, and corn could all likely find a place in our diet, but our farmers have been slow to adopt them. Oh my goodness. Just a way to say that, but if I was to invest it, that would mean a lot more support for colonialism, but I would lose some diplomatic power. But that's a huge amount of money. I mean, it's certainly gonna, jump it to have support for these current areas here. Just for these two. Even if you were to take a few loans, or one for that matter. But I don't know, but do you really want uprising throughout the Mughal Empire, even though there are those, and it's for 10 years' time? Especially in some of those areas. And don't we have another thing that already gives them? No, I don't think so. You'll be fine. You just need to calm yourself. I'll do it. And, of course, that's Mughal particularists in certain areas, like there. Now, take the loan. Whatever you do, don't do anything stupid. It's a pretty big investment that I did. Will I regret it later? Maybe. Our heir Jahangir is a zealot. Good. That's what I want to hear. Because you know what? Must have got it from his mother, one would think. Even though since I'm in my 50s, which is either a blessing or a curse, maybe both. But it's good to know that, that I lived this long to see that Jahangir will have a strong claim to the throne. And someone who's good, skilled at everything. And with him being a zealot, that means there is a possibility we can finally convert this province so this monument here can be activated. Can be active, I should say. We've longed for it. separate piece. They're gonna continue to duke each other out. While we're slow to make money until all this corruption is rooted out. Should have that. But also would like to save for a fourth idea group, which I have no idea or about. No, I remember now. Plan on going for diplomatic ideas. Because of this. Take more provinces. We have to expand, expand, expand. And if you are so concerned about aggressive expansion, this is what this is for if you were to go for espionage. Kind of interesting to see all these sort of things. I even thought about the possibility of humanist ideas, knowing that religious unity around here is often a bit of an issue. Yeah. When Jahangir takes over, we will finally convert this area, so we have to keep the mysticism up. Unless there is an advisor around here that is into this sort of thing. I'm just looking, because it's been a while. Good God, man. As good as you are, whenever you pass, this one will be the replacement just to have a reduced national unrest. Because, you know, we're getting tired of that. And no doubt, when Jahangir takes over, we start making a little more fortune here. Get rid of corruption, get rid of the interest rate, all that, we will be fine. See, we have 1,000 each month. That's the reason I've said not terribly concerned we use the manpower instead of money. Bit by bit. I was contemplating something. I was just doing some thinking. And then he just passed. Wow. Well, I guess it was a blessing that that our old monarch lived up to his 50s, just to live long enough to see his son grow up to be a man. And indeed, he did. Long live Padishah Jahangir, the zealot. He's going to bring us a good time. But his successor, unfortunately, that is not a good one. No way, no how. I'm letting that slide. If I had my druthers, then, and the total costs. Rise of a pretender. Uh-oh. A pretender has risen to dispute the succession of Jahangir, citing a pretext of extraordinary justices of Lodi rule, casting aspirations on the legitimacy of the new Padishah. Jawan Bakht Bhutto has raised an army to support his claim for the crown and is marching on the capital. Sirmur. Sirmur. Where is Sirmur? Egans, it's right up here. Back away. Stop drilling. We got a serious situation here. So our nations in mourning over the loss of our previous monarch, Sikandar III Shah. He died while in the army was kept. He was consuming his lust for money, and wealth shall not be missed. Well, don't you worry. Despite the stability drop, we will start making more fortunes again. At least I hope. Once the corruption is rooted out in a couple of months. Don't get myself killed, because I do not want... I am in no mood to raise another. Actually, we can afford to recruit a general. Think of a name that's not too similar. Bahadur Shah. That's quite a name. 1 fire, 3 shock, 4 maneuver. Okay, fast mover. Take up my father's spot. Yeah, currently that piety of a mysticism is rather low. But we got a mess to deal with. Don't click it. Let it happen naturally. Also, you forgot to click on this. That's where you'll find them. The Padishah Begum of the people. It has become clear that the Padishah Begum Mumtaz is a woman with a heart of gold. She always does her best to please her husband, Padishah Jahangir, and treats her friends with unparalleled kindness. During a recent trip to the Mewat province, the Padishah Begum Mumtaz saw the suffering of its poorest peasants with her own eyes. Ever since, she has been drafted upon to help the most destitute subjects in order to make these ideas into a reality. However, Mumtaz needs some funds from the nation's treasure. Oh dear, how much? Eek! But Mughals get consort of the people. Would it be worth it? Okay. I'll just make a slight adjustment, and then I'll give you the money. We'll raise it back up in no time. The people are ours to look after. She has our support. I'll take the administrative hit. I'll take that. When the uprising starts, get ready to put him down. And we do want a reduction of national unrest because it's going to hinder our plans. And of course, under my rule, we will annex you. Slowly but surely. But I'm not terribly worried about the legitimacy, but of course things shall remain the same. Of course, you know, never forget our Afghan roots, but it doesn't help with the Hindavi provinces to some. Don't click it. Let it happen naturally, then we'll come up and put him down. In fact, get to position. We shall meet them, and we'll crush them together. Hold on. Hold on. In position. Yeah, that's my heir. Allegedly. And Mumtaz is Padishah Begum. She's tolerant and I'm zealot. Opposites don't really attract, but apparently they do. And boy, I wish I would disinherit him. If I had very high prestige, I would. That took him a while. But they ain't gone yet. Annihilate them. All gone. Right. As you were. Begin the integration. So it'll be done in 3 years' time. Costs $4 a month. And that's the estimated total. Annexing them will give us 5 prestige, but the opinion of other subjects would change. Obviously. This is for yearly prestige, which would definitely slow things down. And you know it's going to take a very long time to get up there. So just this once. This is just to reduce the interest rate. It's almost gone. So Mughal architecture. A great empire demands monumental buildings. In our cosmopolitan empire, architects are creating marvelous buildings that will all generations to come. Our dynasty should be at the forefront of this movement, creating great works of a kind the world has never seen. There's only one more. And once it's complete, technology cost reduced. And we do mean technology, not necessarily ideas. Hey, you could stop now. 2. Seems you are winning. Send one. Coming to you. We got a bunch of rebel factions to put down. Oh, what was this thing again? Yeah. And don't be afraid to take decisions that gets mysticism up. And we do plan on going to war against Bengal, so that kind of helps it anyhow. Even though I'm a zealot, but as I said, there's a new madrasa here, which... when does that expire? $1586. I mean, it's our best opportunity. And all that knowledge sharing. It's another thing. Control over there. The wall's just breached. Citizens of Toronto have grown tired of local influence these greedy, hot-dotty merchants that they claim are using unfair advantages to outcompete local businesses. They demand that we step in to limit the influence of foreign traders on the area and reaffirm the privileges of our own merchants and artisans. If we do not act, they take matters in their own hands. Well, we gotta protect our trade. Mahmud Shah Jahan, that was our best general. But anytime you get a new one, that ups army professionalism. Ibrahim Shah. 3 fire, 3 shock, 2 maneuver, 3 siege. Hey, a siege master. So he's considered 2-star. Considered is. All around. That's what this army needs. Knowledge sharing ends from Yakan to Mughals. Thank you. Because we need to start making that money again. We really need to. Big time. The corruption is gone. All that. Very good. Oh, since we have all these favors from you, that's our advisor. Just looking. Even though we can't afford it yet. Oh, 2 of them. We'll deal with this one. And you too. That takes care of. Stand by. You're winning this war. Although I could enforce peace. Join a war on the opposing side. Oh, no need for that. I'd rather be the one that takes all the gains. I'd rather be the one to do that. You know I have claims in this area. I'm doing this for the mission that will unlock these 2. I'm sure we'll go down there too in future. But don't forget about this. Once it's complete, then and this would unlock these way. No need for that. We're annexing you. Oh, I forgot about the decisions. Let's see. Yeah, but all of this leads to legalism. Here it is. Islamic Center of Scholarly Learning. Until the death of John Adolphe Boye. Who? I mean, it gives me more towards legalism. I mean, you'll have the strength, but yeah, I'll do it. That's because I have the skill. Direct all my efforts towards creating an Islamic Center of Scholarship and worship by promoting academic studies of Islam and supporting establishment of local libraries. It gives you more missionary strength and technology reduction. At least I have the skill for it. At least this will help you out. One more time. Yeah, you're nowhere near that, so you need to get to work on going back towards this way to have all that missionary strength. Unless if you're lucky, you'll find an advisor who knows all about whatchamacallit, who's a zealot. That would do. Getting momentum you have. Oh, this again. My stomach upsets too easily. We only did it once and there's no need to do that again. Just let it come up naturally. And one day we'll embrace colonialism. If I have the funds. And this would definitely help with the trade power modifier once we control Bengal. Most of it anyhow. There goes another one of my generals. One more time with this. Don't be any way related. 4 fire, 3 shock, 1 maneuver, 2 siege. It'll do. At least we have better generals in this generation. "10 years and I will fight against Malwa again." You know what, come over here. In preparation for the upcoming conflict. You've ceded a province. Tripura. Tripura. Oh, there. They'll pay dearly for that. I mean, look at us. We're ready for war. Your move. Who else? Head to them. this prestige per development because, you know, we're trying to, you know, convert at least some of these provinces. The Ulema requests to invest in prosperity lands in Herat. The Mansabdars request to invest in prosperity in Hajipur. The entrepreneurs of the Jains are about to invest. It's all about investment these days. So, I get it. Well, I got all this military power I can use. You know, I'm not in a mood in spending administrative power, but definitely for this. And Hajj. You got it. Now they're very loyal. Just waiting for their war to be over. But until then, just drill what little you can. Which you should have done it months earlier. Just waiting for their war to be over. And then we're gonna swoop in and take them out while they're exhausted. Opportunists we are. There they are. Malwa. That's going to be the situation. It's going to be 3 armies to attack. One's going to be left behind to take out any separatists that they see. Increasing a salary like that, that's insanity. Save it. Okay, you got what you want. Alright, here we go. Let's read this here. Kotra said Kotra the Bengal. Assam will be pillaged by Bengal. Assam will be forced to give Bengal 10% of their income for pay their war reparations. So they got all that great money. That makes you an aggressive expansionist. So you've put some development into this capital of yours, which I'll be glad to sooner or later take that hands off of you. Stop drilling. It's time. They may have recovered nicely, but they will rue the day. Again, it's either 2 ways. Either convert Central Dome or just wait until, you know, you do all this missions that relates to it so we can have Fateh or Sikri, where you will automatically move the capital, and then you don't have to, you know, spend your administrative power on just moving your capital there, whereas all that administrative power should be spent on getting this in the future and coring the newly conquered provinces. And sometimes develop military reform. Jahangir has begun a thorough revision of our country's military structure. While officers are still drawn from the nobility, the peasants and townspeople are conscripted into other ranks. Regular drilling's been introduced, and a powerful fleet, which we don't have one, together with hundreds of battleships, galleys, and other crafts. Obviously, you could split it even. Since we don't have a navy, only reform the army, which will give us 200 military power, 2% armed professionals gain, and for 10 years army reform, which our morale of armies go way up and technology costs reduced. And so therefore, guess what? We have new cavalry. Replacing the Mansardar cavalry is the Divepat cavalry. The Sikhs of the Punjab would develop a special kind of cavalry fighting style inspired by the Persian and Afghan armies. This was referred to as the Divepat, or the 2.5 strikes. A group of cavalry would ride up to the enemy and fire their matchlocks, retreat and repeat. When the enemy was sufficiently softened, the great masses of cavalry would charge their sabers. Similarly, many North Indian states increasingly came to incorporate mobile musket-armed cavalry troopers in their armies, often recruited from many Afghan tribesmen in the region. You know, my kind of people, as I'm a ruling dynasty of an Afghan origin. But anyways, compare it with this. This is 2 fire. Be more on defensive shock and a little more on offense morale for this one. So we got new cavalry, gentlemen. You may want to head over there. Slight delay in the beginning of the next conflict with Bengal. We just got new cavalry, which they are quite outclassed. This is a war I want to do on my own. Don't bring the Bahmanis in. I'd rather keep them healthy in case of Vijayanagar onslaught against them. It'll begin in April. That's when the offense begins. You barely got into the Renaissance? Well, can't say I blame you. Well, one thing is for certain. Oh yeah, this government reform's about to come soon. And we'll see what that's gonna be, if I choose to care. Because I'm gonna be consumed by this war. Sikkim won't come, because, well, they kinda have a bit of war exhaustion. They've been through a lot. Maka will come, obviously. But here will be the war goal. It's right next door. I wish I would fabricate more claims, but I didn't think about it, and we didn't have time to establish it. Plus, this would complete our mission, so I will just try to take as much territory as I dare. So, these 3 will be the priority. So I will probably, if I were to have additional provinces to take, probably take Dhaka and Nadia just for starters. And then soon this mission will be complete when this vassal is annexed, which will get our morale of armies up and fort maintenance down. And we have a lot of claims. Malwa and Jaipur will have to be those areas, along with Chittor and Ajmer. That's going to be upcoming for the 90s. And once we have all that, then we gotta get the Rajput's influence up, because we really like those guys. And then that's one step complete. And this way to fortify the plains, which we can most definitely do that. And this would lead to the Grand Trunk Road, as we are not the strongest trade power in Lahore. Well, we could change that. Who is the strongest trade power? Bukhara. I think one day I will have to declare war against Bukhara. Not for any territory, but to humiliate and subsequently get them to transfer their trade power over to us. I could see that happening. The Great Ord and Yarkand. Yarkand? Really? If I were to fight against them, you would turn against me. All I could say is, hey, you break an alliance with Bukhara. Or even better, use the favors to tell them to break the alliance with Bukhara. They'll get mad at me. And they have every reason to. So there you have it. Now, anyways, now we got the future set in motion. Now, let's get on with it. No need to bring allies in. It's just me and the vassals. Let's go. Autonomous carpet siege here. We'll advance together. Cautiously. If we see an army to go into contact, engage. So one other army will be on standby to take care of any kind of separatists that we'll have to deal with. At least Yarkand ain't gonna come. They were in the middle of drilling. We're gonna catch them. They're caught off guard. They didn't know. That's the monarch himself. Kinsman. How do you like me now, kinsman? Anyways, get back to your starting line. Okay, who's the siege master? Wait a minute. Isn't that the one with... Oh, no. You're thinking of somebody else. Yeah, the siege master is Ibrahim Shah. He'll be the one to take that fort down first. Alright, move out. We'll get this one down. If you come in contact with an enemy army, deal with it. Oh, there it is. It's him again. Come over here. We need you. You got any siege skill? 2. Chakra should be brought down too. Things will get easier. They were just in the way. They ain't going anywhere. I think we're going to send you over there. Just take care of a few stragglers. We're all committed to a siege at the moment. Sure. As long as we stick together. That'll be for later. Which again, either governing capacity or regional representation. I think it would be better for this, the latter one, rather than this. Because this governing capacity, well, since we're an ever-expanding empire, I'm sure there's other things that we could do to expand government administration, all that. This area is fallen. Move in. Just in case. They withdrew. Move. Off. Hold. Well, I guess you go take care of them. It's your original job. Yeah, and inadvertently made him stop here. Chocolate's fallen. Dhaka. But again, we can't guarantee victory of this war until their ally has to be out of the war. So that means we have to send at least 1 or 2 armies to come on down here and have them dealt with. Which they were in the middle of another war. Possibly earlier. All I want is the areas that are relevant to the objective. Try not to expand too much. Saving that for Malwa. By the way. Reminds me of something. Yeah, you're gonna need a lot more than that. And quickly. Do what you will. No effect. This capital's fallen. Take care of all this. We want this army to be the one to engage that one. And we'll come to support you. We got you surrounded. Education for the poor. Religious local philanthropist has begun to create schools for poor children in Bengal Campaign. The ambition is to bring literacy to the poor and educate them in a way of the Sunni faith. Of course, there are those who would argue that this is not an activity without risks. Unrest. For 30 years? But the ulama would gain some influence. So that means even more particulars to deal with. An excellent initiative, I would say. All gone. Okay. Take care of the rest. Return to here. We'll try to occupy as much of the country as possible. Alright, repay it. In position. Waiting for an uprising to occur here. They can rebuild their armies as much as they like, but war is practically over. And maybe during peacetime, during the 80s, where until our treaty with Malwa expires, should go fight against Bukhara. Just to humiliate them. I don't want their territory. I don't want Samarkand. Oh, you done? Figure it out. Invited to the Id of the ruler of Sind has invited an emissary of our realm to celebrate the feast of the breaking of the fast, which marks the end of Ramadan. The feast will be celebrated for 3 days, and all that is asked of us is to forgive and forget any differences with others and animosities that may have occurred during the year. Fine. Even though that's my vassal talking. I don't have any issues with them. Oh, that's mountains. Okay. Just wondering what territory is that. Extreme monsoon in Bundelkhand. Something always happens over there. 1582's monsoon weather's been far more severe than expected in Bundelkhand. The powerful winds and heavy rains cause extreme damage to the rural and urban settlements alike. A costly relief effort would be needed to undo part of the damage, but it will take time for it to fully recover. Oh gosh, devastation. Yeah, organized relief effort. We'll get a lot more money out of this when we win this war. Which we will. Who are you to question? Come on, get out of here. Integration of Adoti is complete. That'll hurt our diplomatic reputation. Which means, where's the army of Hadot? Oh, with us. You should actually go with them. Link up with them. You'll be integrated in that army. Speaking of integration. Last stand for you. Also, the mission is complete. Now we have a lot of permanent claims. Now it does say owned or non-tributary subjects, which is fine. So, to conquer Malwa, it'll be down there. Which is to its central, which, fortunately, the Bahmanis do not have any of these areas. Subdue Rajputana, we can do. It's easier. And it's also less developed, but it also needs forts in Ajmer and Chittor, which we'll save our money for that. And of course, they gotta start pleasing Rajputs again sooner or later. Unless I give them another privilege, which is unlikely. Just looking all the other areas. Yeah, there is 2 territories owned by the Bahmanis that's needed. We do own most of it. But the Ulam influence isn't great because, well, we kind of alienated them in the past. But such is life. As I said before, Bukhara, you're next. Malwa, Jungles, all Malwa. It'll be a lot easier to have these claims to get what we want. As expected. Oh, and these territories that we just gained? Well, we'll reduce that autonomy sooner or later. And it's cord, you know? Yeah. It's curtains for them. Return. Poor uniforms. One of our cloth suppliers has been found to be supplying substandard cloth for our army uniforms. We understand that the troops are not impressed. Damn them! Even though we do have many bonuses that helps the morale of armies, which will compensate for that. These relevant objectives, yes. It's a 10-year truce, but take any more than that, that's going to increase it further. But we only want that just for mission completion. And I would like for them to return this one province today. And if you can, try to release some nations, if any at all. Just ideas. As a way of, it's like, oh yeah, they'll like us. Although we don't plan on vassalizing them, it's just, we're gonna get you. It's like, alright, we're gonna get you up, and then conquer them. And about as much money as you can give me. 46 will be suffice. No need for reparations. 1595. Damn. Okay, that went longer than expected. So, reduce that. Okay, no. Eternity core province will not increase the truce. Okay. No, that adds a year. Well, give me about as much money as you can. Because you are, after all, a rich country. Only the Jane's land ownership is modified. Wouldn't pillaging their capital would also increase it? 295. Okay, look. What I really want is a reduced... Well... Since you're going to go to war against Malwa during the early part of the 90s, and knowing how long this may take just to fight them off and everybody else, I think honestly do take it. Only Bengal and Malwa might join the coalition, which they won't. Which they won't. Just take the damn money and the provinces, and we'll have these claims for East and West Bengal, which will finish them before the end of this century. I can promise you that. So now we kind of isolated them. was gonna free them, but no, do take the money. So there you have it. Now fortify the plains. And we're gonna build that fort. And we're just gonna build it, let me see, like, think of it strategically, like if they try to advance, and how are they gonna get around? I'll put it here. I was thinking out a more developed area, but no. Put it here. It'll be done in a couple of years. And once that's done, this mission's complete. And then when you complete the conquest on all of Bengal, you'll have the Grand Trunk Road. And you gotta have less devastation in each of these areas. Oh, obviously you can't complete that mission yet. And you just devastated a good portion of the country anyhow. And Bukhara is in the middle of a war. And if we were to declare war against them now, just to humiliate them, which would be the best thing for me, I am, ooh. You've grown. Because of quantity ideas, of course. And I'm not particularly interested in Samarkand, despite its close proximity here. But, that area there. And there's this other mission. Because you gotta own Samarkand, Tabriz, Mashhad. Which of course give me permanent claims in areas further west. Which I'm in no interested in expanding there. Just want to beat the heck out of Bukhara. And a couple of other things. Now you're in one army now. So yeah, I may consider that. Declaring war against Bukhara while we still have the momentum. That we still got a good amount of manpower. Administrative. Which we will court just these three areas. And all that. But one day we will have all of this. I can promise you that. Can guarantee you that it will happen. At least we didn't spend it much. Now, you're concerned about autonomy. And knowing that we have expanded again, and knowing that controlling all of Bengal and rest of Malwa. Oh, but I think we should go for that. For more governing capacity. Without order, there is nothing but chaos, and men must be led. We must ensure that the word of the monarch is law in each and every case, that everyone does their utmost to realize every royal design. And it's highly likely that that I will go for political absolutism rather than making it become a republic or theocracy, which defeats the purpose of what the Mughal Empire is supposed to be. But in the meantime, we'll begin our march. As ordered, we will go up to the Mughals. I'll go up to the Mughal areas, and then we will meet Bukhara and humiliate them. Give them a lesson that they'll never forget. Kochi people has been assimilated now. The next time I integrate another vassal, I will only do it if any of the Mansabdars or the Rajputs tell me so. Surprised you're still around after all this time. The Jayanagar is no longer considered a great power. You know, there's about 100,000 of us versus 1,000 of them, possibly more. And we still kind of need this one army to basically be out on patrol. So, you'll be stationed in Golda. And you'll be drilled from there. While we'll take up positions and fight against Bukhara. Even though it's kind of, you know, as of my intentions is to humiliate them and Sufi syncretism. Sufis, with their mystical and less legalistic approach to Islam, are often more welcome among the heathen and highly educated ulama or soldiers of the faith, manifesting piety in other ways such as dance, singing, and by blending the Islamic traditions with local ones. The Sufis are not always at best terms with the religious establishment. A Sufi leaders managed to get quite a following in Rohtaskal, with a great number of Hindu converts joining his disciples. His followers are clearing land for a new settlement where they might live together, and this could well lead to a much greater Islamic influence in the area. Many among the ulama are asking that we send him on his way, as they feared leading the true faithful astray by blurring the line between Islam and the Hindu faith. That's for the whole Bihar area, though. He's doing God's work. Don't you worry about it. Just a little more mysticism. It's not enough, but it'll make do for a difference. Just hang on. Not quite there yet. Get a position over here. You know, Bukhara's not far from here. Taking their capital, which is part of that humiliate rival. I mean, not interested in conquest. I don't need territorial gains just to up my aggressive expansion, but I do want to beat the heck out of them. How developed is Bukhara? Not much, and sacking it isn't worth it either. Drill. Our armies won't be as drilled except for the Rajput regiments, which take a while longer. So we have permanent claims there, and claims there. It's good to know. I'm trying to think of ways regarding this. And you've got all this great wealth, which will be even better if we can. They hold 40, we have 16. We're just barely catching up. Because I would like to spend that great deal of weight. The institution, remember that. That's what you should save your money up on. Not only humiliate Bukhara, but take about as much money as possible away from them. That's another thing you should do to them. Transfer their trade power to Lahore. Just to help us out with one of the missions. Land owned by the Crown at least 50. That ain't gonna happen. What do I get out of that? That's it? I was about to say, what was that part of the mission that regards Lahore with the or am I crazy? That's to say strong trade power. I saw it somewhere. Or am I, crazy again? Oh, we are the strongest trade power in Lahore. Oh, son of a beeswax. Barely beating out Bukhara. Well, we'll just have to make damn sure. Because once you complete once the castle is complete in a few years, though you're gonna have to, Yes, it says that up here for Grand Trunk. We just gotta make sure that it stays up there. That's what we have to do. And to make sure there is no devastation in all the provinces. Because it says less than 1. Even though it says 0. Yeah, there you go. Good to know. Let me see. Yeah, they want to expand to the steppes. That's what they've been doing. And I believe they've gone too far. And they're going to have to be dealt with. Swiftly. Since they commit all their troops over there, that means it's going to give us time to, have a bit of open season. To take some of the relevant areas. Okay. All you gotta do is take their capital, defeat their armies, occupy as much as possible, and then they are humiliated and I will get some money off of them, transfer trade power, just to make damn sure that Lahore stays of our trade power, unless I choose edicts to add more local trade power to that, but there's no rush. And I just needed an excuse to, beat somebody up during the 80s. But, well, we will do that in the next episode. We will leave it on that note. We hope you people enjoyed this episode. But until the next one, where we will try to get this mysticism up a bit more and more and see if we can just try to find it. But I fear that we'll probably won't get it still because this thing is gonna expire in 3 years. Hey, you did what you could. And that overextension, yeah, it does cause some problems, but it'll be dealt with once these problems are fully coordinated. We build that castle and complete one mission after another. But until then, so long for now.